Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana. In this video, I'm going to count down my top 10 most anticipated games for 2021. So if you're curious to see what I'm most looking forward to, stick around. All right, as always, there's going to be a few honorable mentions here, and so you can probably see a few hints as you look across the top here on maybe what some of these are going to be. But I'm going to scroll through and tell you what these top 10 games are. But first, like I said, a few honorable mentions. I actually looked through over 50 or 60 games in quite a bit of detail, and then picked my top 10 with just a few, like I said, honorable mentions. If you want to see the next 30, I'll put those in the description down below, not really in any ranked order per se, but the next 30 that I looked at that I'm also very excited about. This is one, Iridia, The Paths We Dare Tread, that's an honorable mention. As you can see, the date's not on here. When I first started researching it, it had the date 2021. But now the date's gone, so I don't know if it's going to come out in 2021 or not. I've also, as I've researched it, see that it looks like it's been in development for quite a while. So it's by publisher Far Off Games. Cody Miller is the designer, and it's an open world campaign-based cooperative fantasy role-playing game. It says it's built on exploration, progression, combat, and role-playing, and so I'm very excited about it. The imagery looks really good. The art is really appealing to me. But like I said, I don't even know if it's going to come out in 2021, so it's just an honorable mention. Another one is one that I anticipate getting, and that is Dice Throne Adventures, but as you can see here, it's listed as a 2020. Now, I believe that it's not really arriving to people who did the Kickstarter till 2021, so maybe I'm off on the dates, but it's an honorable mention because it looks like it may still be a 2021 release. I don't have it yet, and I didn't do the Kickstarter, but I am planning on ordering it. It is one that I highly anticipate. And then the next one on the list is 8 Gods. I love Ryan Lockett games, and this is one that's based on the story in the Sleeping Gods Kickstarter, which I should have arriving in the next couple weeks, hopefully. I just confirmed my address yesterday, so hopefully it's coming soon. But this is a card game actually designed by Ira Fey and released by Red Raven Games, but it says it's actually a game that comes up in the story of the Sleeping Gods, and so it looks interesting. As I looked at a playthrough video, it looked okay. I like card games. The art, I'm sure, will be incredible, just knowing what Ryan does with his art. But you can see here just some kind of preview pictures. The art is very reminiscent of what you've seen if you've played some Ryan Lockett games. But this one I'm excited about. This is where it says it's coming in 2021 on the Red Raven site. So I'm looking forward to that one, but didn't quite crack the top 10. And then this next one that's an honorable mention is The Initiative. And I just heard about this a couple days ago, so I'm still sort of researching it. It was close to replacing something in the top 10. It was so intriguing to me. That's by Corey Knizia. I'm not sure exactly how you say your last name, Corey. Sorry about that. And it's by publisher Unexpected Games. It is a cooperative board game where you are a group of teenagers in 1994 that discover a board game called The Key. And you are trying to work your way through this interactive comic book driven game. So interesting here. You can see a few of the images. I think this is obviously prototype images here coming out, but I thought it was interesting that they're using a comic book to drive the story and that it was cooperative. So really sounds interesting, and I like some of the other games Corey has put out. So The Initiative is one that I'm really looking forward to. I also like here, it says, as they play, they discover that this game they found at a yard sale is strangely connected to their actual lives, and they're trying to unravel the secrets. So very excited about this one. But now let's get into the top 10. Number 10 is Origins First Builders by Adam Kwapinski and published by Board and Dice Games. And this game sounds like a civ building kind of a game that uses dice selection, dice manipulation. There's not a ton of information out that I've been able to find, basically just what I've seen and read here on the Board Game Geek website. However, I did see in a Man vs. Meeple most anticipated video that several of them had a chance to play some prototype versions of this one and were really excited. And I like civ building types of games. And as I read through this discussion or explanation of what's happening with the different tracks, the military track and visiting encounter sites, closing off districts, building towers, growing your population, it just sounds like it's going to be a game that I would really look forward to. And just trusting in the opinions of some of those people from Man vs. Meeple, this one's really risen up in the ranks for me. On the Board and Dice website, it doesn't say much more. It talks about basically the same thing. It's got the BGG profile information, but it's a game that I'm looking forward to. That's number 10, Origins First Builders. Now number 9. Number 9 for me is Mind Management, the Psychic Espionage Game by Jay Cormier and Sin Fung Lim. I'm sure I'm saying those terribly, and published by Off the Page Games. This is a hidden movement game and sounds really interesting. You're playing a person that's it's like one versus many, and if you are the one player, you can see here on the Off the Page Games page site, it says the one player controls the recruiter for mind management. They are scouring the city for new recruits. The other players control rogue agents who are trying to stop the recruiter before it's too late. And so just sounds really interesting. I heard about this one from Rado. He says mind management is my favorite hidden movement game of all time. So as watching his playthrough really caught my attention. I haven't really played many games like this. And when I looked at the art initially, I thought, it's kind of cool. It wasn't just blowing me away, but I did enjoy it. But as I watched the gameplay and saw all the different thinkiness that would go on, and that it's a pretty quick game, those things really appealed to me. And so very much looking forward to Mind Management by Off the Page Games. And that is my number 9 game that I most anticipate for 2021. Now let's move to number 8. My number 8 most anticipated game is Lost Ones by Gordon Alford and Greenbrier Games. And I actually heard about this one from a video by Before You Play. And as I watched them play and talk through the game, and as I looked at the art, I was just drawn in. It's a game about 4 youths who have been put into this magical world, and they're trying to escape this world. It's a cooperative game, very story-driven, sort of choose-your-own-adventure type of storyline, and the art is just really intriguing to me. So I also looked through the Greenbrier Games website, but the art on this one's just beautiful. I keep wanting to look through these pictures. But on the Greenbrier website, they even talked a little bit about how hard it's been to wait. It's taken them longer to develop this game than they thought, and with COVID delays and such. I did not back the Kickstarter on this one. I didn't even know about it until just recently, but I wish I had backed it. And I'm very interested in this game, and hopefully I can pick it up later. I love the beautiful art, and the storyline sounds really intriguing. And for me, that's number 8 in my top 10 most anticipated for 2021. How about number 7? My number 7 game is In Too Deep by Josh Capel and Daryl Chow, and published by Burnt Island Games. And this one I heard about from Board Game Co., Alex Ratcliffe, and Quackalope, and enjoyed their talks about this game and some partial playthroughs and explanations. This is a really interesting one where you are trying to stop the syndicate, and it's very sci-fi. You actually go into the minds and sort of embody criminals so that you can understand the criminal world and try to then stop the syndicate. And as you do this, though, it is affecting your psyche and affecting your moral compass. And so can you stop the criminals? Can you investigate what's going on? Can you discover how to stop the syndicate without getting in too deep, and where you can't escape from your life of investigation? So really sounds like an interesting game. The art is intriguing. Burnt Island Games generally has great art and great components. And so I did not get the Kickstarter of this one either. It was at a time where I just couldn't really justify putting the money in. I hope to maybe late pledge this one or buy it at retail eventually, but this one really intrigues me, and the more I've learned about it, the more I've thought about it, the more excited I am, and so that's why it's number 7 on my list. How about number 6? My number 6 game is Lions of Lydia by Johnny Pack and Bellwether Games. And Lions of Lydia is a bag management, resource management, worker placement game, very Euro style game. And you are placing those workers out and pulling them out of the bag. Uniquely in this one, you always have exactly 4 workers in your bag. And you're trying to develop your market of merchants and develop your currency spending and management. And there's a special currency, the Gold Lion of Lydia. So I think that's what it's called. And I found out about this game from Quackalope again, also from The Hungry Gamer, and then also from Tantrum House talking about this one. This one sounds really interesting, and the art's beautiful. It looks like it's got that Euro style game and being an engine building sort of game without being super heavy. You can see the weight here is pretty low, and I tend towards that mid-weight being my preference for myself and my family. So this is number 6 on our list. Let's see what's in the top 5. My number 5 game is Rise and Fall by Christoph Bollinger. Probably not pronouncing that right, but also published by Ludicali Games. And this one has been in development for a while. It is a civ building game where you start with a small little tribe and you're building up that tribe into a civilization. But I love the 3D nature of the board as you build. And it sounds like it's a really easy game to learn how to play, and that everything you can do is just on one of the 6 cards that's in your hand. But that it's really complicated in terms of the depth you can go into as you build this game. And that it's also not one of these 6-hour civ building games, that it's a little bit shorter and a lot easier barrier to entry, or a lot simpler level of entry. And so I hope this one will come out in 2021. Like I said, it sounds like it's been in development for a few years now, but this one looks really impressive to me. The art looks beautiful. I love that 3D nature of the board building and the terrain as you explore new lands and build up your civilization. So number 5 is Rise and Fall. Let's check out number 4. Number 4 on my list is actually a combination of games, Imperium Classics and Imperium Legends. So these games have been designed by Nigel Buckle and David Turtzi and published by Osprey Games. And I believe David Turtzi is one who's done a lot of solo games, and as you'll maybe notice as you look through my top 10, a lot of them are at least solo compatible, which I really enjoy. And in this game, there's not a lot of art to show, but it's another civ building game. And the Classics comes with 8 different civilizations that you're trying to build up. And if you invest in the Legends as well, that adds another 8 civilizations that you would have the chance to build up. If you look at the Osprey Publishing blog site, you can see a little bit more information about this and some of the art. The art's by the Miko, so really catching art. And this one, I think, because it looks like it's so expandable, and again, because I enjoy civ building games, this one has really drawn me in. And this combo of games is my number 4 anticipated game for 2021. Let's get into that top 3. Number 3 is another combination of games, Dark Ages, and it is the heritage of Charlemagne and also the Holy Roman Empire. And these games are designed by Adam Kwapinski and Andrei Novak from Board and Dice again. So this is another one that came out on Kickstarter. It is a 4X game with a lot of Euro-style resource management mixed in. So you're going to be exploring and expanding, exploiting and exterminating, but at the same time collecting resources and managing those resources as you do it. And looking at the content, is the thing that's unique about this one is you can play the Holy Roman Empire, or you can play the Heritage of Charlemagne, or you can combine them together. And you can see that there's all kinds of maps and miniatures. And I saw a video of this by Man vs. Meeple, and the board is gigantic, especially if you combine them together. So this is the Heritage of Charlemagne page, and here's the Holy Roman Empire page. And so it's, to me, very appealing one, because again, you can play it solo or with up to 4 players. You can play just the Holy Roman Empire or just the Heritage of Charlemagne, or you can combine them together. And I didn't hear about this game until after the Kickstarter was over. I tried to look at this pre-order, but it looks like it wasn't available yet. Or maybe I missed it, I'm not sure. So I don't know how or when I might be able to pick this one up, but just kind of scrolling through the Kickstarter page, incredible little miniatures and art pieces found on the Kickstarter page here, really drawing me in. And then you can, if you want to look further at what kinds of things came in the Kickstarter. I didn't back the Kickstarter because I didn't know about it, but this just looks so epic, and it looks like they were able to include so many different stretch goals. I'm hoping that in some way I might be able to pick up the Kickstarter version. I don't know if it'll come to retail or not, but you can see there's the main board, the Central Europe board for the Holy Roman Empire, and then all the miniatures that come with that one. So lots of content. And then here's the board for the West Europe map, the Heritage of Charlemagne, and then all the different miniatures and features that come with that one. And then, like I said, being able to combine those together as one enormous game for up to 8 people, I believe, when you combine the two. That really sounds like a great time. I don't know when I would be able to get 8 people to play this game, but just the concept of the idea of having that option just really looks cool. And there it is, all combined together. So that is number 3, Dark Ages by Board and Dice. Let's look at number 2. So my number 2 most anticipated game for 2021 is Now or Never by Ryan Lockett and Red Raven Games. This is the only game I've had a chance to have any sort of play interaction with, and that was online a month or so ago with Bryce and Allison from Better Half Reviews, and we had a really good time. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's the 3rd game in the Arzium trilogy, which began with Above and Below, and then Near and Far, and now we have Now or Never. It was really a fun game where we were doing some exploring and some battling, and you're trying to develop the village for the people returning. It says here, far to the south of the last ruin lies a cliffside village called the Monument. For generations, it protected an ancient shrine until the day of a crystal meteorite descended. The meteor's denizens slowly crept out into the world, bizarre monstrosities from nightmare, attacking all in their path. As they spread across the land, there was no intelligent malice nor grand invasion strategy. The creatures acted like a fungus, spreading into new territory sporadically. And so here we are gathering up with your friends. You're trying to rebuild the villages, and you do battle monsters, and you're gathering resources. And it was only the standard mode. There wasn't the story mode ready yet, at least not on the online version. I don't know when exactly this game is going to come out, or if it's going to be retail only or Kickstarter. I've heard rumors it might be retail only. And here it says it's 1 to 4 players. In the rulebook online that we looked at, it was only 2 to 4. So I don't know if there's actually going to be a solo mode or not. I hope so. So I'm very excited about Now or Never. Love the other Ryan Lockett games that I've played, and very excited to see this 3rd one in the trilogy come to life in 2021. So it is number 2. And now for my most anticipated game of 2021. My number 1 game that I highly anticipate in 2021 is The Adventures of Robin Hood by Michael Menzel and Cosmos Games. Michael Menzel created this game. He is the creator of my number 1 game of all time, Legends of Andor. And I think there's a lot of similarity in terms of the art and even the cooperative nature. You are Robin Hood and his merry men trying to escape from evil Prince John and have successful adventures. And there's a sort of choose your own adventure feel to it a little bit, but instead of card driven like Legends of Andor, it's a hardcover storybook. And Michael Menzel doing the art. Here is the page that I found. The art is just incredible. The game board changes during the story, so it looks like there's pieces that pop up or pop in. If you look at this picture here, I think these pieces pop out, and they may be that they change from game to game in the setup. I don't know exactly about that, but you're moving around freely throughout the land as Robin Hood and his merry men, and then here's that hardcover book with the adventure stories. I love the Legend of Robin Hood. I've read tons of Robin Hood books. I love the Legends of Andor. I love this art. there's just absolutely nothing that would not make me want to get this game. So I'm quite certain that as soon as this is available and I'm able, I will be picking up this game, The Adventures of Robin Hood by Michael Menzel. By far, well, maybe not by far, but it is one of the most anticipated games I've ever sought after. This one is very exciting to me. I can't wait to try it. So there you have it, my top 10 most anticipated games of 2021. And like I said, you can see down below some of the other 30 games that I'm also very excited about that didn't make the top 10. Also great games, so many of that in that list I hope to play as well. So that's the top 10 games that I most anticipate in 2021. And if you're interested, I am also putting out a video where I'm going to chronicle the Kickstarters that I hope to receive in 2021. Some of them that I ordered in 2019 and some that I ordered in 2020, but all scheduled to arrive sometime this year. And I didn't include them in this list because I've already purchased or pre-ordered those games. These are all the ones that I haven't yet, but really highly anticipate. So if you're curious, stay tuned for that Kickstarter video where you can see what I'm looking forward to receiving in 2021 from my Kickstarter investments. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it's been informative and entertaining for you. If you'd enjoyed it, I'd love it if you'd click on that like button, and it would be great if you'd subscribe to the channel. If you have comments about any of these games, or you want to leave a list of some of your most anticipated games for 2021, put those comments down below and I'd look forward to reading them. As always, thanks for watching. This is Billy Indiana, signing off.